How's it going, everyone? I'm Isle, and this is not a welcome back to StarCraft 2, but instead we get to talk about something that, as StarCraft community, we don't get to talk about all that often. And yeah, that's a patch. It's a StarCraft patch. It's like Christmas has come a little bit early. December the 7th, we get the news of this one. So it is not going to be live probably before Christmas, but we're going to have a look at this together. So, I got some coffee because that's important. And I think we can jump straight into it. So I haven't looked at this. I haven't watched any other videos on it. I'm going to just give you my, idea and my impression of the patch and let's see if it's any good. So let's start off. In Taru Adun, we are excited to push patch 5.0.11 to PTR, which features various amounts of balance, bug fixes, and quality of life improvement done by our community members. Just that first line already is like, what? We haven't seen any of this in a while. What is this? So we're gonna break it down first, starting at the Zerg. So, creep tumor cooldown increased from 11 to 13 seconds. Sight range reduced. Okay, so that is a bit of a nerf to the creep tumor. So creep's gonna spread a little bit slower. I mean, those numbers don't seem major, but they'll have some effect. Okay, I don't think that's not fair. Sight reduced. Yeah, I get that. I mean, creep is a very strong mechanic, so that's fair enough. Hatchery, Lair, and Hive, creep spread interval decreased from 0.3 to 0.25. Sight range increased. So if I get that right, your hatchery building is going to be able to see a little bit further, but it's going to spread creep a little bit slower. Okay, I guess that's also fair. Doesn't seem like such major things. I might be wrong. Again, if something here, if I'm misunderstanding, you are more than welcome in the comments to tell me the right thing. I'm taking this off of what I'm seeing right now. So, might be good, might not be good. The Viper added 0.71 second cast finish time to abduct. Oh. Okay. So it's going to be a second before the Viper can do anything after using abduct. So what a lot of players do now is they abduct and immediately move the Viper or do another task or something like this. This is going to mean that there's going to be a little bit of a delay. I think this is similar to the Battlecruiser teleport time. I mean, 0.71 that's actually a little bit. It sounds like not too much, but it's a little bit. So you cannot use or move. Okay, so the Viper nerfed a little bit. I can't say that that's not fair. The Viper is very strong. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Ultralisk. What? Reduced size by 12.5%. Increased range slop from 1 to 1.4. Range target can move before. Oh. So the Ultralisk is going to become a little bit smaller. And the range of target can move before missing. So there's going to be a further range that the Ultralisk can hit something. That's what it sounds like. The reduced size. That's amazing. Okay, so if you don't understand what this means, Ultralisk at this stage, tier 3 Zerg unit, useless because they're so big, they just bump into everything, or they bump into Zerglings or the pathfinding or whatever. So they end up not actually getting into combat. They just kind of stand there or like do funny things, and they don't do anything. What this means is that they're going to be able to move better, so they're not going to be bumping into everything. They're going to be able to get through buildings a little bit better. This is going to make Ultralisks. I think this is amazing for Ultralisks. Yeah, I think this is going to make them use, because the Ultralisk's armor is good and those things, but at this stage, it's just trying to get them into a fight is a little bit hard. Especially on attack, especially against a Terrans on attack. If a Terran's got a couple of supply depots or barracks surrounding their bases, Ultralisk doesn't like that. It doesn't move through that. This is amazing. I think this is going to be a very good one for the Ultralisk. We're going to see Ultralisk being played, I reckon. Hydralisk, muscular augments, move speed bonus increased. So that is the upgrade that increases their movement speed on creep. So they're going to be a little bit quicker. That's good. Damage point reduced from 0.15 to 0.1. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that is. Okay. Yeah, so something's been moving. So Hydralisks are going to be a little bit quicker after they've gotten their upgrade. Okay, that's still going to make the Hydralisk reliant on its upgrades, which it is at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that one is, but, you know, the damage point has been reduced. So there you go. Yes, very much so. Broodlord, whoa! Move speed increased. That seems like a lot. 1.97 to 2.3. Because at this state, Broodlords, so slow. So slow. Makes them very hard to micro, and it means that Solix Broodlords get nuked. So this should mean that Broodlords are a lot better. Because their damage and things very good, but getting them somewhere is very hard. You have to like hover them somewhere in an unsafe area for them to be able to get into any fight. Okay, I like that. Broodling, duration reduced. Ooh, that's big. That is big. So, Broodlords are quicker, but the Broodlings don't last as long. Okay, so there's been a couple of cool Broodlord, micro tricks where you launch Broodlings onto each other and then use them to go further. I don't think that's going to be possible anymore. This is a big duration change. I guess it's okay. If the Broodlord is able to move around better, be more microable in that sense, then you've got the hit from the Broodlord and a little bit of damage from the Broodling. The hit when it flings the Broodlord at something. Okay. Ravager build time increased from 8.6 to 12.9 seconds. Okay, I think what this is mostly going to do is it's going to slow down Ravager early game aggression with early game aggressive pushes with Ravagers. Because now if you're walking your roaches across the map and you're trying to hit a specific timing and you start morphing your Ravagers halfway through the map, they're going to take that much more to get there. So, if you're a Terran player, for instance, and you've got good scouting, you should be able to get your bunker up or something a little bit easier. Okay, Zerg changes. Fair. I'm excited for the Ultralisk. I love the Ultralisk as a unit, so I'm very excited for that one. What's next? Oh, Protoss, and the first thing already we can see, shield battery. So, battery overcharge recharge rate reduced from 200 to 150%. Okay, that is big. So, the battery overcharge is going to not be recharging as quickly. Okay? Right? I'm hearing that right. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's going to help Terran a lot against Protoss. Zerg 2, I think that's very good. Shield battery and battery overcharge I think is a little bit strong at this point, so I think that's a good change. Observer move speed increased, model size increased. That's an interesting one. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to look almost like Brood War observers. They were a lot bigger. StarCraft 2, it's a tiny little thing. And they're a little bit quicker. Okay. I like that. I think this is better for Zerg and Terran, obviously, because they might be able to see the shimmer a little bit better. Because at this stage, observers are actually really tiny. And anyone that's not a pro struggles to see it. Yeah, unless you're scanning, and you can't scan everywhere you go. It's actually only Terran, really, because Zerg's going to be we're going to be taking their overseers with them. That's good. Archon can now fit between single gap walls, collision size with other units. This is a brilliant change. I don't know how many times it's happened to me where I warp in a couple of High Templar, I morph them into an Archon, and then they can't get out of the base. and then they're stuck in the base. So now you will wall off normally. You can warp in your Archons wherever you want to, and they're going to fit. They're going to be able to get out, but they're still going to bump around with the other Archons. So it's really just, that just means that you're not going to have this random Archon going, trying to get out of your base, but it can't. I like that. That's a good change. High Templar, movement speed increased. I guess that's good. Makes them a little bit more microable. I mean, they were a little bit slow, so High Templar are going to be a little bit stronger, going to be able to get into better positions. Yeah, that's good. Disruptor, Purifier Orb radius reduced. Big nerf on the Disruptor, but I think that's good. Because I think the Disruptor as a unit is exciting to watch. I love casting games with a Disruptor. But playing against Disruptors, especially once the opponent's gone up to, 7, 8 or so, it becomes very hard to micro. And you got to be insanely good. So on the lower level, this is going to do so much. I think at the top level, it's going to make it a lot better as well. You're going to have to supplement with Colossus and with High Templar. I think that's great. I think that's a good change. Carrier, Interceptor shields reduced from 40 to 30. Ooh. Interceptor attack target priority reduced from 20 to 19. Ooh. Flying radius around target increased. So the Interceptor is not going to fly as close. It's going to be flying further away while attacking, if I'm understanding correctly. This is amazing. Carriers are still going to be good because this is small. Nothing else of the carrier is affected, but this shield, the reduction is going to make them a lot easier to get rid of interceptors. And this means that I think interceptors won't be targeted as much by your units, because at this stage it requires a lot of actions to play against carriers, and they're a lot easier. It's a lot of actions to play against it, but playing with carriers requires nothing. It's A moving. So I think this is going to do a lot. Yeah. And this, I think, probably just going to help the targeting and stuff. It's going to be interesting because I think this one is going to affect a lot of people. You know, if you're struggling against Skytoss on the ladder, this is going to help a lot. Yeah, I think this is a fantastic change. As Terran and as Zerg, and probably even if you're playing PvP, I think this is a good change. I like this change. I like the carrier, but it is very difficult to play against. So this is amazing. Sentry, build time reduced. That's a big change. That's a big change. 4 seconds or something like that. That's good. So what's nice about this is I think this is to give Protoss a nice early game scouting option. So you can warp in your sentries a little bit quicker, and yeah, they're so hang on, this is not warp time, this is build time. So you can, before warp gate, already get a sentry up. Right? Maybe it affects warp gate too, but I guess it's just so that Protoss has a way of scouting nice and early with hallucinations, or preventing early game cheeses by getting a sentry out with force field. Yeah, I like that. I think that's good. Forge, upgrade research time reduced. I think that's good. So their upgrades are going to be able to come out a couple of seconds quicker. Nothing too major here, I think, but that seems fine. Alrighty. Coffee time. Alright. Terran, and the first one, Ghost. I think this is good. Enhanced shockwaves upgrade removed. What? Okay. But the base EMP radius is increased. So your EMP is a little bit bigger. I don't know the exact amounts, but I'm assuming, and I might be wrong, that is an amount after, or that's more than the initial, obviously, but less than with enhanced shockwaves. It could be exactly the same, and enhanced shockwaves is just removed, but that's okay. Steady targeting is cancelled if the target moves more than 13.5 range away from the ghost while casting. Cast range is 10. Okay, that's a big nerf. That's a big nerf, because what you could do with ghosts now is you can lock onto them, scan, and as the army is moving away, they'll still hit. So now, if the target moves from the ghost while casting, so the cast range is 10. So if you get out of that 10 range, the steady targeting is not going to hit. Ooh, that's big. Terrans are not going to be happy with this one. That's a big change. It's a good change, because I think the ghost was a little bit strong. I mean, there's been comments on a couple of the videos saying ghosts broken and stuff like that. And I think to an extent, ghosts were a little bit strong. Banshee. Hyperflight rotors upgrade time reduced. Okay. Cost reduced. So that's just to get the Banshee speed upgrade out a little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Because it's a good upgrade, but at this stage I think it took too long and it cost too much to be that effective for the Banshee, so we didn't actually see them too much. I think this is nice. Yeah, it's gonna make the Banshee... What I think is it could make the Banshees a bit more usable throughout the game and not just as an early game harassment tool, because now you can get this for cheaper and quicker. Maybe? I mean, Banshees are gonna suck to play against, but that's good. Cyclone Magfield accelerated damage bonus change from plus 20 versus armor to plus 10 versus all. Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah, so instead of being good versus armored units, they're going to be good versus everything. We're going to see some mech. We're going to see some battle mech. And if you think about it, these two, I wonder if you'll see a combination of battle mech with cyclones and more banshees. That could change up a couple of compositions for Terran, so Terran can then decide to go bio mech or battle mech, which is going to include banshees, and cyclones are going to be pretty good there. I think that's awesome. I think, yeah, because the cyclone as a unit is underutilized. It's not really used enough, so I like that one. That's amazing. Sensor tower, radar range reduced. Okay, that's fair. It is strong, so that being changed a little bit with the creep spread. I think it lines everyone up to be a little bit similar to Protoss in terms of their ability to have vision. That's fine. Okay, so the Raven gets a rework. Ooh, this is a lot to pack through. Gas cost reduced, so they're a lot cheaper. Build time reduced a lot. Okay. Starting energy increased. Oof. Interference matrix duration reduced. Okay, so there's the nerf. These are all big buffs. Anti-armor missile armor reduction reduced from 3 to 2. Okay, that's big. That's a big change. So that's also a big nerf. Corvid reactor upgrade removed. Corvid reactor was the increasing starting energy for Ravens. Okay, so that's just gone. Auto turret energy cost increased. Okay, so they've made Ravens cheaper, build quicker, have more starting energy. But they have nerfed the skills of the Raven. So each one of these skills is affected. I think that's a good change. So Ravens can now be, you can build more of them and use them, but they're not going to be as useful with those ability, each individual one. So you might be encouraged to build a couple more. But this along with cyclones and battle mech and stuff. Oof. This could be very interesting. I think this is mainly, strangely enough, going to affect Terran versus Terran. Because that's where Ravens are built the most. They're built in the other matchups, but definitely more in Terran versus Terran. We'll have to see how that one plays out. I think that's alright. But again, that's just what I think. Alright, and that's the balances. The balance changes. Ooh, that's exciting stuff though. I'm really looking forward to this one. There's a couple of these. Follow acquire range reduced from 5 to 2. Units will switch to attacking from moving when within this range of the follow target. Okay, that's good. Attack blink delay. Spawn radius. Oh, no longer targets Zerg eggs without a manual order. I'm just kind of going through this quickly because I think a lot of these are just issues. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Adepts could not be ordered, cannot be ordered to load into warpism while shading. Okay. Yeah. Nothing too exciting here. Mule could be targeted. Stasis ward. Oh, priority increased. Huh. Yeah, none of these are too serious. Okay. So there you go. A couple of big changes coming, and I'm quite excited for them. We'll have to see when they're actually fully deployed into the game. But even if the changes are not ideal, at least what the changes are going to do is going to shake up the meta a little bit. It's going to change the way that all three races play, and some of the strong units from all three races have now been affected. Broodlords, Carriers, Ghosts. Just off the top of my head. So, yeah, we're going to see some interesting changes here. I think we're going to see a lot more High Templar, because Disruptors are nerfed quite a bit. We're going to see Terrans have to come up with an alternative of Ghost, but we're going to see a lot more Battle Mech. That I can guarantee. Zerg, we're going to actually see Ultras, and they're actually, hopefully, fingers crossed, not going to suck. But yeah, there you go. There we have it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative. I hope you learned something about what's coming in StarCraft 2. Whew, I'm excited. This is going to be amazing. I think most of these changes definitely are going to affect us ladder heroes. The peeps on the ladder. Yes, it will affect the top level, but I think it's going to mostly affect the people on the ladder. It's good changes for us on the ladder. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My next video coming out, that's going to be a cast, so subscribe if you want to see that one coming out. Like if you thought I did a good job here. Drop a comment if you have any ideas about the balance patch, and you know, if you want to share your thoughts, have a discussion. I am all too happy about that one. And I will see you in the next one.